Hi, and welcome to Zero North's Compass Discovery Series. Today, I'm here with Steffen Knodt. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Laura, for inviting me to your series. I'm very happy to be part of this discussion today.
Fantastic. Do you mind introducing yourself to the audience so they can get to know you a little bit better?
Okay, my pleasure. My name is Steffen Knodt. I'm in the maritime industry for a while now, and I'm taking care about startups and entrepreneurship in the maritime industry, currently in Rostock, building the Ocean Technology Camp there for Fraunhofer.
Very nice. And we first met a couple of years ago in Hamburg at an AIS conference. And we had something in common where you had worked previously for Maersk as well as the head of innovation and strategic R&D there. So it's really nice to reconnect with you, I must say.
Yeah, it was a pleasure also to be with you on stage there in Hamburg. Indeed, it was, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah, happy to catch up with you again with Maersk Tankers. Very nice.
Yes, and the reason why I wanted to talk to you today, because I've really been interested in following you on LinkedIn, and in the stories that you tell and that you share are very much in line with startups and sustainability and impacting the ocean. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. At Zero North, we're committed to the idea of digitalization towards the shipping for the climate. As part of this, we think that the sector is going to become more intelligent across the board. So I'm interested to know, what do you argue is the defining characteristics of an intelligent ocean industry?
A very good question. And indeed, I would say that in the maritime industry, it has been in the past a bit more to be smart marine, and getting into the autonomy aspect maybe in this context. If you're taking reference on intelligent industries or intelligent ocean industries, I put it very much into the context of Industry 4.0. So having connected devices, having smart sensors on equipment, know how your operation works, being connected to many other stakeholders. But intelligent industry would be a meaning in a much larger ecosystem, and also applying new technologies like artificial intelligence, 5G and others, and bring that to a new level of Industry 4.0.
Right. Okay. So what kind of initiatives do you think are important for us to drive digitalization today and to get to a place of where we are? Do you feel it's lacking, and what is needed to bring us up to date?
Well, of course, I think or strongly believe that in the last 2 years, the maritime industry made a huge step on digitalization, and also in basic technologies you need to have. So connectivity is one thing, certainly, if you're talking about intelligent or smart, cybersecurity, and of course, collecting data and getting insights out of data. And there are a number of great initiatives out there who are supporting this. And if you think about COVID-19 and how everybody from us accelerated in use of digital technologies, that has been amazing. However, if you take the maritime industries, we need to act faster. We are still dependent on projects. We have a lack of practical use cases to test out new things. And of course, when it comes to decarbonization or climate change, we need to be part of these changes that are coming up, and there we need to be faster.
But do you think that a lot of people are talking about long-term goals and setting these targets for 2030 in order to get there? And maybe what we need to be talking about is the tangible things that people can do today to bring digitalization into their organization. Here at Zero North, we're trying to define what that roadmap is and trying to help our customers go along as their technology partner. And when I say technology, I don't mean technology on the ship. I mean algorithms and using data and intelligent data to deliver actions. I mean, our goal is not only to help our customers, but also to be part of helping the industry to understand what's needed for this digital transformation.
What is the goal of many initiatives you're driving within sustainability with digitalization? You need to have this 10 years vision in mind, what you would like to aim. On the other side, people in business, and if you see also the challenges we all face with COVID-19, you need to have those tangible projects, solutions that is helping people in the business right now, today, doing their business better. and being more efficient and bringing up solutions within there. And along the way, of course, laying the foundation to take the next level of initiatives when it comes to digital and others.
Last time we were speaking, we were talking about how the solutions that are necessary in order to reach our decarbonization goals really are about partnering. And you talked a little bit about maritime being a small industry. Can you talk a little bit more about that? I found it really interesting.
Yeah, so if you take the shipping industry as such, and the number of vessels that are operating, and then in the fragmented industry we are operating as such, each of our new developments and technology developments have a very targeted group of customers. And if you bring it into the context of intelligent ocean industries, of course, we are part of a much bigger ecosystem of the industry, of the value chain as such. And if you just think about decarbonization and everything what we talk about in shipping, what might be new types of fuels and so forth, same discussions are going on in the other industries, power to X, hydrogen, ammonia. It's a discussion that's going on anywhere. And each of this is so big that no company and no industry alone could solve this. So there's on the one hand a need that we as an industry need to collaborate among each other to find a solution in technology for combustion engines, for batteries, or for fuel cells, whatever you have, and also maybe wind propulsion. On the other side, we are depending on those in the supply chain who provide the infrastructure, who provide the source of supply for these new types of fuels. And that can only be done together.
Right. So I look at it a little bit from the point of view of being a small industry and from a data point of view. So the amount of investment that it takes to build the intelligent ocean solutions that we want, compared to the results given, if it's only one organization that gets the benefit, then it probably is out of balance. And you actually need to build a data platform that collects all the data, so many players get the advantage and offers a benefit to the industry as a whole. What do you think about that?
If you see more the value and the benefit of sharing data for the industry as such, or the improvement you can have on society or on climate by sharing data, then the question on who takes the profit or the benefit comes in a later stage. That's something you will be able to figure out. You're more open to share rather than just protecting, just to be super cautious that some others might take that with you. And that is actually quite an interesting activity at the moment going on in the scientific community, that of course there's a strong need to share data about the oceans, about the climate, and where also the shipping industry is playing a role. So many data is collected on the sea by ships and vessels that has no value for the operators as such, but what is of great value for everyone. So how can you share this data? How can you make use of it for many others? How could you create new business model out of this data? This is really an exciting topic going on. And of course, then also of great interest for smaller players or startups in the industry, because on this data, then they can develop new business models and also new services the big players might not even think about.
Right. So, I mean, as someone who's actually, at Zero North building a data platform, for us, we think about it from the point of view that all the customers that are on the platform get value out of it, right? So,
Yeah.
So it's more of a benefit towards the customers, and a lot of them don't have the capability, or, it's not part of their core business to actually build digital solutions. So we think of ourselves as the technology partner that they can trust, who's always going to be innovating and moving things forward. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but that's a very good approach, because if you see someone in the shipping industry who's a bulk carrier or whatever goods they transport, their business is to provide a service of high quality to their customers, to be operational efficient and everything they need about this. And the data backbone is not their core business. It's something they use. It's something what everybody from us, of course, they use the apps and the tools, but none of us is a data expert. So if you have a partner on your side who are supporting you with the right tools, with the right understanding of your business, of your industry, and provide you with new insights and tools, that's a good partnership.
Right. And there's so much data in shipping. I mean, the customers that we work with have been collecting data for many, many years. And we find that some of the solutions in the market are offering dashboards and showing what the data is about, but actually turning those data into action is how we're going to make improvements. So through creating strategic partnerships and bringing data together, then we're able to empower that data to deliver better results. So I have a question for you about what can the industry do to make better use of its data resources?
Well, you mentioned it already. Of course, one thing is that you need to be able to have a structured approach to collect data and also to store data and share data with others. And then, of course, you might have your experts on creating knowledge and insights out of that data, and also find level of agreements where the operator will still own their data, but of course you are creating additional value and insights to improve the operations.
Right. But hopefully through partnerships, you can enable this sharing of data by operators and by ship owners, and then create some kind of collaboration that they can see a greater purpose. And we've seen that purpose-driven companies is getting a lot more attention, and certainly being part of the Maersk group of companies. And Robert Ugla, who, as you know, is the CEO of AP Mollers Holding, he also is also on the board of Zero North. He has an official mantra that is to make a positive impact on society. And at Zero North, our purpose drives us and helps us to connect with like-minded partners and customers. So how important do you think that it is to having a strong purpose for really affecting a positive change and a real change?
It's of utmost importance. The purpose as such is the foundation of everything you would like, or the company would like, to achieve in the future. And I will explain you why. The purpose is the meaning of why you do things and why you exist, and what is your contribution of something. So what would be the case if Maersk or whoever companies in there would not be in operation anymore? Would anybody miss this company? And if nobody would miss this company and it's just about their doing business, then something is wrong. And if you are talking about digitalization and making some changes, positive changes for the environment, for the future, you need to have a strong meaning in what you're doing. And that's very important for everybody in your company who are working with them, for teamwork, why you are working together, what is the direction, what is the intrinsic motivation of people of doing those things, even if the future is uncertain, even if there might be challenges or things not work out as expected. And that is very important, because that is, let's say, the very strong link between all actors in the industry, why they are doing things, what is their purpose of doing things, why you are going to decarbonize shipping and aiming for a digital solution. It will not be simply to become more efficient and to have more profit at the end of the day if you would like to become digital and then to reduce your cruise or whatever. At the end of the day, everybody would like to have a positive contribution on their society. And that meaning will become much more important in future. And of course, this helps also to drive change and transformation within corporates, but also within industries.
I think we also find from our point of view, our purpose is to digitalize shipping for the climate. And it is not, you're right, just about digitalization. It is about affecting the climate change. And we find that our culture and our employees are really inspired by this purpose. But it also helps us to define our path and what are the products that we develop. So if we talk about digitalization and how that can support decarbonization, I wonder what the extent to which the industry is still waking up to this link. Because for us, we really believe that in order to achieve the decarbonization that's required by regulations and driven by customer demand as well, that you need to create you need to understand this link, and that technology is really the one that's driving it there.
Yeah, and I think the industry as such is really waking up. If you simply go back, I think 2 years or one year in time, we also started with Wärtsilä and many other big corporates an impact program on digitalization and others. And this impact program really had the aim, on the one hand, to of course have positive impact on business, but on the other side, it was also having positive impact on society. And there we worked together, for example, with the Global Maritime Forum from Copenhagen, by the way. And they had, along with the World Economic Forum, set up this Getting to Zero coalition. And if you see how many companies are in there, it's more than 100 who are working together, who are defining roadmaps, who are forming smaller consortia to work together on that field. And this is really getting momentum. That the industry and the leaders of the industry, and you mentioned Robert Ugla, they are making a stand. They showing leadership on where the industry would like to go. And of course, there it's also very positive what you are doing over there in Copenhagen with your corporates, because if you are going that way, others recognize that is something very important, and that's something where we also can team up with. It's very important what leadership you're showing there.
Yes, thank you. I think Copenhagen is trying, just like the shipping, the heritage of the shipping industry and of Maersk and other companies in Denmark, really need to play a role in this. There's a huge agenda for sustainability in the Nordic countries in general. So playing into that and understanding that as a heritage and bouncing off of that, I think is what we're trying to do. But also understanding that partnership, we believe we can't do it alone. So these partnerships, as we discussed, is really what's driving it forward. So I'm interested in what you did at Wärtsilä, and you launched so many initiatives that foster collaboration across the sector with startups and such. So how do you think that the industry can proactively and meaningful work together on the issues of decarbonization? Do you think that the solutions will come from inside shipping, outside shipping, or kind of rely on some sort of partnership between the both?
I believe it will be a mix. And of course, on the one hand, if you simply go back to Wärtsilä and others in the technologies domain, simply if you go the large propulsion systems of container vessels and others, you have a small number of technology providers and others who are then, of course, need to take the developments from the inside. And at Wärtsilä, on the one hand, we had programs with our customers, the Future Innovation Days, for example, where we also embraced open innovation to work together in so forth. But we also built Smart Technology Campus in Vasa, where we also work together with customers much closer. On the other side, if you look into the digital domain and where we connect data and insights and others, so much is going on from outside of the industry. Simply, if you look, for example, on data platforms where the large data companies and software companies from US, they are all active somehow in the maritime space and also investing in startups or forming also partnerships with some maritime companies. So they already see their impact, for example, on the climate in working with oceans. All the programs from outside of the industry who would like to find climate solutions, they will also address somehow the ocean, because the ocean is strongly, directly connected to the climate. And if you think about ocean acidification and others, that's linked to carbon emissions of shipping. So there will be a strong force from the outside of the industry to work together with maritime players to reduce their carbon emissions, to get better understanding of the data and take the next steps.
We think of it from the point of view as we are a corporate startup, or we started within a corporation. But what really is unique is that because we have that foundation, I think one of the reasons why the shipping industry has maybe been so a little bit slower to pick up the technological revolution, is that it's so complex, and trying to understand the complexity of shipping, you really need people who understand shipping in the startups. So not only people from outside with this, new mindset of how you can use technology to drive solutions, but also with the know-how. So the unique combination of both is really, I think what is a winning combination, we hope, at Zero North.
No, but that's with Zero North, as you said, it's quite a very good example of venture building. So if you say my role, if working with startups and bringing large corporates and small startups together, of course you have always a friction zone of a big corporate with their things, from corporates, and the agile way of working with startups. The interesting thing really is if the corporate is understanding that new things you would like to explore can be better done in a new venture, and you get into venture building like with Zero North. And for example, something we've done with Wärtsilä in the Netherlands, we have teamed up with other corporates and said, well, okay, we would like to decarbonize inland shipping. So bringing battery containers on small carriers for the Heineken brewery.
Okay.
And so, but that was venture building. And then you can bring the assets, the knowledge, the financial capabilities of a large corporate in an entrepreneurial setup and to explore. And then you can decide, will it be at a certain point of time going back into the corporate world? Maybe it will be standalone, whatever it be.
I feel like we could talk about this forever. There's so many topics to cover, but I believe we're running out of time. So I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts today on, where the industry is heading, what's going to help get us there, and, the players that are going to make significant changes through startups and through, ventures. So thank you so much for being with me today.
It was my pleasure, Laura, and hope to speak to you again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.